A soda company promised millions, and it ended in riots, chaos, and 5 deaths. A single promise from a global soda company set an entire nation on fire. It was a promise of millions, a chance at a new life printed under the cap of a bottle. But what began as a brilliant marketing campaign, a beacon of hope for so many, would very quickly descend into chaos, riots, and ultimately, death. This is the story of how a simple bottle cap contest went catastrophically wrong, and how a 3-digit number, 349, became a symbol of corporate failure and public rage, leaving scars on a country that are still felt decades later. It is a stark reminder that when you play with people's dreams, the consequences can be devastating. The year was 1992, and PepsiCo launched the Number Fever promotion in the Philippines. The concept was seductively simple and designed to capture the public's imagination. Inside the cap of every Pepsi, 7-Up, Mountain Dew bottle was a unique 3-digit number and a cash prize amount. Prizes ranged from a modest 100 pesos to the life-altering grand prize of 1 million pesos, a fortune for the average Filipino family at the time. The campaign was an immediate, explosive success. Pepsi sales skyrocketed by an estimated 40%. Families pooled money for cases of soda. Children became treasure hunters, scouring streets and bins. The bottle cap became a new form of currency, a lottery ticket in an everyday purchase. The campaign reached its fever pitch on May 25, 1992. That evening, the nightly news broadcast announced the winning number for the 1 million peso grand prize. The number was 349. Across the nation, a collective gasp, then an eruption of joy. People scrambled for their stashes of bottle caps, hands trembling as they searched for the magic number. And then, something strange began to happen. Not just one person, not a dozen, thousands. Bustling city centers in Manila, remote rural villages. An unbelievable number of people held a cap with 349 inside. Shock turned to elation. Neighbors celebrated. Communities erupted in cheers. Families wept. They were millionaires. News spread like wildfire. People rushed to tell friends and family, holding up the small metal discs as proof. For a few glorious hours, it felt like a miracle. The next morning, thousands descended on Pepsi bottling plants, distribution centers across the Philippines. Massive lines snaked for blocks, each person clutching their 349 cap, ready to claim the prize that would change their life. They had followed the rules, bought the product, and had the winning number. Inside PepsiCo Philippines, a cold, sickening panic set in. They knew something was terribly wrong. As the crowd swelled outside, Pepsi executives scrambled to contain the unfolding disaster. Their first move was a public announcement that would turn the festive atmosphere into one of confusion and betrayal. The company declared that the 349 caps held by the public were a mistake. They explained that the winning caps were also supposed to have a unique security code, which the misprinted ones lacked. Therefore, the thousands of caps in the hands of the hopeful public were, in fact, worthless. The promise of 1 million pesos evaporated into thin air, replaced by a technicality. The public's reaction was one of disbelief, which quickly curdled into incandescent rage. People felt cheated, lied to, and utterly betrayed. They had trusted the company, invested their meager savings, and allowed themselves to dream. To have that dream snatched away by a corporate error was more than an insult. It was a profound violation. In an attempt at damage control, Pepsi made a new offer. They announced they would pay 500 pesos, about $18 at the time, to each holder of a 349 cap as a goodwill gesture. This offer was not seen as a gesture of goodwill. It was seen as a slap in the face. The paltry sum confirmed their worst fears. The corporation was not going to honor its promise. Protest groups began to form almost immediately. Coalitions like the 349 Alliance organized the disenfranchised winners, channeling their collective fury into action. They refused to accept the 500 peso offer, demanding that Pepsi pay the full 1 million pesos as advertised. The fight was no longer just about the money, it had become a matter of principle. the common person versus a powerful, faceless multinational that had played with their hopes. The protests started with peaceful marches and demonstrations, but quickly escalated into violence. The goodwill of the Number Fever campaign was a distant memory, replaced by the raw anger of a populace that felt conned. Crowds of thousands, many waving their 349 bottle caps, took to the streets of Manila and other cities. Their targets were clear: anything associated with Pepsi. Anyone associated with Pepsi. The company's iconic red, white, blue logo became a symbol of corporate deceit, and the public was determined to make them pay. The violence was widespread and destructive. More than 30 Pepsi delivery trucks were overturned, looted, set on fire in the streets. Protesters threw rocks, homemade explosives, Molotov cocktails at Pepsi bottling plants and corporate offices. The chaos was not confined to the capital. Riots broke out across the country. In one tragic incident in Manila, a grenade thrown at a Pepsi truck bounced off and landed in a crowd, killing a schoolteacher and killing a 5-year-old girl. The fight for prize money had now claimed innocent lives. The crisis spiraled further out of control. Pepsi executives received death threats, forcing them to travel with armed bodyguards. The Philippine government urged the company to pay the claims to quell the violence, but the financial liability was simply too great. The riots and attacks continued for weeks, creating an atmosphere of fear and instability. In total, the 349 incident would lead to at least 5 deaths and dozens of injuries. Pepsi ultimately paid out over $10 million in restitution to some claimants, but the damage was already done. The company faced more than 10,000 criminal lawsuits, more than 10,000 civil lawsuits, and the legal battles would drag on for years. The brand's image was left in tatters, trust and loyalty destroyed. The campaign, intended to be a triumph, had become one of the most infamous marketing blunders in corporate history. A textbook example of how not to manage a crisis. The story of the 349 incident is a powerful cautionary tale about the immense responsibility that comes with marketing. It highlights the dangerous intersection of corporate ambition and human hope. Pepsi's campaign was successful because it sold more than a product. It sold a dream of sudden wealth, a better life. The computer error was the initial spark. The true disaster came from poor decisions and failing to grasp the emotions they'd stirred up. They were not just dealing with customers, they were dealing with dreamers. The crisis shows a catastrophic failure in crisis management. Instead of transparency and empathy, Pepsi's response was defensive, dismissive. The caps were declared invalid for a missing security code. The lowball offer of 500 pesos revealed a profound lack of respect for the people who made the campaign a success. It said the public's hopes were insignificant against the company's bottom line. That perceived arrogance turned disappointment into a violent nationwide uprising. The number 349 became a symbol of broken promises in the Philippines. For years it was tied to scams, bad luck. The incident became part of the national consciousness, a warning about faith in corporate giants. It changed consumer company relations, breeding skepticism toward advertising and promotional games. Pepsi's brand damage was immense and long-lasting. Ultimately, a tragic reminder, corporate mistakes have real-world consequences. It wasn't about sales figures or stock prices. It was about lives disrupted, trust shattered, lives lost. A marketing campaign can go from business pages to front-page headlines fast, for all the wrong reasons. Behind every consumer is a person with hopes, fears, a breaking point. One wrong number changed thousands of lives forever.